My name is David Evans. I am curator of dinosaurs at the Royal Ontario Museum. I'm here in the Ultimate Dinosaurs Giants of Gondwana exhibit space to welcome you to this new blockbuster exhibition that the ROM is putting on starting on Saturday. The exhibition highlights the amazing diversity of dinosaurs from the southern hemisphere, and many of the animals in this show have only been discovered in the last 30 years. They're brand new to science.
Hi, I'm Ken Reddick from Meld Media, and we're responsible for building the augmented reality for Giants of Gondwana here at the Royal Ontario Museum. It's the first time that augmented reality has been used in a museum in Canada. What people can expect to see is having an experience of viewing the dinosaurs as they may have looked millions of years ago. It gives the viewer sort of a one-to-one, relationship with the actual dinosaurs themselves, and being able to interact with them and see how they looked and how they would have moved.
Paleontologists have unearthed this spectacular diversity of dinosaurs from South America, Africa, and Madagascar, and they've revealed a very strange shapes and morphologies that are very different from the dinosaurs like T.rex behind me that we're familiar with. So the show seeks to answer the question, why are the dinosaurs from the southern continents so different from the dinosaurs like Triceratops that we know and love? Well, the answer lies in the intimate relationship between the evolution of the Earth and the evolution of life. Midway through the reign of the dinosaurs, Pangaea, a supercontinent where the dinosaurs originated, split in two, a northern half called Laurasia and a southern half called Gondwana. This fundamental break in the evolution of the Earth allowed the dinosaurs in the north and south to go in completely different evolutionary directions. And it's evolution in isolation that helped produce the great and unusual diversity of dinosaurs we see in the southern hemisphere.
So this is the Continental Drift game. It's a multi-user group activity. It's a puzzle, and the concept of the game is to support the idea of continental drift. And essentially the idea is to reassemble the continents of the southern hemisphere into the supercontinent of Gondwana. And users use their iPad and controller in front of them to move puzzle pieces on the big screen. So right now I'm controlling Antarctica. I can move it and I can rotate it. And while I'm doing this, the continent piece is being animated on the big screen along with all the other continents. Rotate and move your puzzle piece on the iPad, and you'll see it updated on the big screen, and everyone's puzzle piece is available to be connected to others to reassemble the supercontinent of Gondwana. And then when the game ends, the puzzle pieces reform back down and they show where they would have been on the supercontinent of Gondwana.
In this new exhibit that we've got here at the Royal Ontario Museum called Ultimate Dinosaurs Giants from Gondwana, what we want to teach people is that dinosaurs were these living, breathing animals, and they were evolving in response to a very dynamic Earth. We're standing in front of the Dino Viewer for the Giganotosaurus here at the Giants of Gondwana exhibit, the Royal Ontario Museum. And what we have here is what we're calling the Dino Viewer. It allows you to scan the environment in front of you, and in place of seeing the skeleton, we're actually seeing a 3D model version of Giganotosaurus. And we can move all the way around and see how it would have looked, or an option of how it could have looked when it was alive millions of years ago. And there's relative content in here that we can touch to get some curatorial content. So with Giganotosaurus, we're featuring his arms, and we're featuring the skull. So he kind of shows the skull to you. And then we're also featuring, talking about its teeth, about how they're shaped like steak knives and would have been effective for slicing off flesh. So and here you can see he's kind of gone into a little bit of a frantic roar here. So yeah, this is using iPads and the gyroscope and using Unity 3D as the rendering engine for the actual dinosaurs.
Our job here is to build all these dinosaurs that you see in the exhibit. So we have a lot of dinosaurs from Gondwana, which is the southern continent. What we do, we build the skeletons, we cast the skeletons out of fiberglass polyester resin. We digitally scan them, and then we print them with a 3D printer 5-axis router. When we have the individual elements, what we do, we take the bones, and then we core all the vertebrae out, and then we string them like pearls on a necklace, and they go all the way through. And if you look at the base of the leg, you can see the iron coming up, the steel comes up. So we have steel armatures running up the legs into the hip, and then we have a steel bar running all the way along. And we take 300 and some odd individual bones, and we break it down so we have about 8 or 9 modular sections which we can assemble here at the museum, at the Royal Ontario Museum.
Some of the unique dinosaurs that you're going to get to see in the exhibit, there are many, have never been seen before in Canada. One of those dinosaurs is the dinosaur behind me, Suchomimus. It's a Spinosaur. It's the first time this type of dinosaur has ever been on display in Canada before. And we also have some unique specimens, like the giant Futolongosaurus, which is mounted in the foyer of the museum. It's one of the biggest animals ever to evolve on land. It's 100 feet long and stands 30 feet high, and when alive it would have weighed as much as 10 elephants, about 50 tons. And this is the first ever exhibit of the Futolongosaurus completed as an assembled skeleton anywhere in the world.
We have about 18 people in our shop who work on various parts of this. We do molding and casting, we do digitizing, we do scanning, we do printing, we do metal work, we do blacksmithing, and it follows a whole process till finally we get to the end result, which is a mounted skeleton. All told, the project here took us about 2 years to put everything, to source the skeletons, to get the skeletons in, and then to mount everything.
Augmented reality in the exhibit is made possible by the iPhone app that we've developed. It allows the user to point their phone at one of the markers, the dinosaur markers in the show, and you actually can see the dinosaur animate for your eyes in the exhibit. Users will download the iPhone and iPad app from the App Store. So this is the app right here, so are you ready? So when you launch the Augmented Reality app for Ultimate Dinosaurs, we're taken to a loading screen. And you're presented with some brief instruction on how to use the app. And essentially when you point the phone at one of the markers in the show and hit start, you'll see the dinosaur's ferociousness before you. When you install it and launch it, you are given directions to point it at one of the markers in the show. And when you do, you get an animation of one of the 3 featured dinosaurs, Giganotosaurus, Carnotaurus, and T.rex. You're also able to take photographs of the experience and share that on Twitter and Facebook and email. There are also fast facts about the dinosaurs themselves, and in this case we're talking about the teeth and the skull and the arms of the Giganotosaurus. The same app can be used to experience the animation of Carnotaurus as well as T.rex.
So over here we have the Reactant Wall, which is an animated wall that uses Microsoft Kinect to trigger animations that viewers will experience when they stand in front of the screen. So right now this long-necked sauropod has come over to greet me, and as I move back and forth, he kind of watches where I'm going a little bit. He's kind of tracking along with my motion. And looks like I've gotten the interest of the second sauropod over here as well. So, and then we have some some text that appears as well that talks about some of the features of those animals in their habitat.
There's lots to see here, lots of dinosaur groups that have never been on display in Canada, like Titanosaurs and Abelisaurs. So there's a lot of new dinosaurs for the young and the old dinosaur enthusiasts to see.